Hey everyone, and welcome back to the second video of Skincare Chats with Dr. Rosanne. If you haven't watched our first, I suggest you go ahead and click the right-hand corner over here and go check that one out, where we talk about everything about basics of skincare. And the first thing I'd like to do in this video is introduce Dr. Rosanne. We did this in the first video as well, but for some reason we did have a technical glitch and we could not record that part. So we have Dr. Rosanne here. Hi, doctor.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Rosanne. I am based in Goa. I am a dermatologist. I've done my MD from the Goa Medical College in dermatology, venereology, and leprology. And I'm also a fellow of trichology. Currently, I'm based in Goa and I'm practicing in Goa. And I'm here to help you with Jamie to take better care of your skin.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Rosanne. Thank you for doing this collab with me. I know we've been talking about this for quite some time now. And I'm super excited. And I finally want to do these collabs with you. We've done the first session as well. And this is our second one. So yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. And so before we start today's chat, guys, I also want to let you know that I have timestamps in the description box down below with the questions. So if you don't want to go through the whole chat with us, you can head over to the description box down below and look for the questions you actually need. But I think this would be a really, really good chat to actually take a cup of tea or coffee, sit back and just watch the whole video where Dr. Rosanne will go through a lot of questions that I get asked most of the time on my YouTube channel, as well as my Instagram page. So I've picked up some really meaty questions for you, Dr. Rosanne, today, which I get, like I said, asked over and over again. The first one being, what are skin concerns? I know people get confused between skin types and skin concerns. We've covered skin types in our previous video, but in this one, I want to talk about skin concerns. And maybe you can explain to us what different types of skin types actually would have problems with their skin concerns. I know I have dry skin and sometimes my skin is dehydrated.
So skin types and skin concerns are two totally different things. Mm-hmm. Skin type, how your skin shows or how your skin feels. So it can be like the one of the 5 types we discussed in our last video. So you can have a dry skin, an oily skin, a normal skin, a combination skin, or a sensitive skin. Skin concerns are basically problems that a person deals with, and it's mostly related to the type of skin that they have. So for example, an oily skin, the most common concerns are lots of breakouts, having blackheads and whiteheads, which we call comedones, dilated pores, particularly on the cheeks, greasy, oily skin, especially makeup not staying on, and the skin looking very dull and greasy. These are the concerns that a person with oily skin would have. Coming to a dry skin type, it is usually a feeling of dry, rough skin. The skin feels very tight, especially in winters. Some of the people with dry skin complain that even talking becomes difficult because the cheeks, that area is so dry and tight. So they usually have issues with, not much with makeup, but yes, certain products causing a stinging and burning sensation. So these are the concerns that a person with dry skin would have. With a combination type of skin, it's the T-zone that is normally oily. So a person with a combination type of skin would complain of breakouts, particularly on the T-zone, that is on your forehead area, nose, around the mouth, chin. The cheeks can be normal to dry. So if it's a combination of oily and normal, it's a better skin type to have. It's a combination of oily and dry, then in winters, they're going to have more issues of flaky, dry skin, stinging when they apply products. The normal skin is the best skin type to have. The concerns are minimal. This skin type usually gets breakouts during the menstrual period, around that time, perimenstrually, that's what we call it. But other than that, not much of issues, not much of concerns with this skin type.
Thank you. But I would think now that we've talked about skin types and skin concerns, how do we choose products, based on the types and the concerns? I'm assuming for a combination skin, that would be a little difficult, but maybe you can help us elaborate probably more and tell us how to choose products effectively based on now your skin type and your skin concerns.
So it's nice to have a basic routine for all skin types. Okay. So what I advise my is to use a cleanser. Like we discussed last time, toners are not the primitive as they used to be.
Yeah.
To take off the soap that remains behind with hard water.
Okay, just to make it more simpler for the viewers watching, say if I have oily skin, and if I have breakouts and, like you said, the open the comedones and makeup not staying, what would be the ingredient you would look for when buying a cleanser for a person with oily skin type and who has these other skin concerns? What is that one ingredient you would look for when buying products?
So an ingredient that really helps with oily skin type is, these are called sebostatic ingredients. That means they reduce the oiliness of the skin.
Okay.
So what dermatologists prescribe are usually salicylic acid. So this, this in cleansers will vary from a percentage of 1% to 2%.
Okay.
So,
but the ingredient is salicylic
acid. But there are other actives that we call, not like salicylic acid, but you have products like your tea tree oil, which is also sebostatic. Then have certain plant extracts like from the hibiscus.
Benzoyl peroxide, I believe. Benzoyl peroxide?
Benzoyl peroxide is more of an anti-inflammatory. So when you have an acne, you have lots of breakouts, that's when you apply it. It needs in contact with your skin for a longer time for it to be sebostatic. But face washes with either your tea tree oil or certain aloe vera extracts, or even with salicylic acid, which is usually a prescribed face wash, are more effective in controlling the oil production in face washes.
Okay. What about a serum for a person who has oily skin? You've suggested like they have essences and serums. So what serum should a person with oily skin look for?
So serums for oily skin are something that even a person with a normal or a dry skin can use, because serums are dispensed in water. So it does not have a vehicle like a cream, which is oily. So it doesn't stick to your skin and make your skin further greasy. So serums don't matter. Even a person with oily skin can use a serum. So it's basically like applying water with the active onto your skin. So the best kind of serum for someone with an oily skin would be a vitamin C serum. So if you're looking for the active ingredient in the serum, a serum with vitamin C, oily skin with active acne, a serum with niacinamide, these are the ingredients that you need to look for.
Okay. What would you suggest for somebody with dry skin? A cleanser, like when you're looking for a cleanser, or probably a serum. What would be the ingredients we would look for when buying products?
So make sure that it doesn't have any of the actives that are there in an oily skin. Make sure that there's no salicylic acid, no tea tree oil, because these will further dry the skin. So products which are meant for normal to dry skin on the label Those are the ones that a person with dry skin can choose. But then again, someone with sensitive skin, a dry skin which is sensitive, should go for fragrance-free, because fragrance can incite allergies in these kind of skin types.
Okay. Now again, so now combination is a very tricky skin type because you have both. You have your dry, you have your oily. What would you suggest people with combination skin? Because they're in between. They can't use, I mean, they can go ahead and use salicylic acid, obviously, and they also can look for hydrating. But what is that one ingredient, or basically an ingredient for a cleanser or a serum that they can use to control the oiliness at the same time, you know, take care of their dry skin?
So the trick in a combination skin type is to use the product that suits the cheek area. Okay. So if your area is normal, you use a face wash or products for normal to dry skin. If your area is dry, use products for dry skin.
Okay.
But in this case, start using a toner for the T-zone.
Okay. So like a salicylic toner in case you have an oily T-zone. Okay.
So combination skin type would be an oily T-zone, but the cheeks would either be normal or dry. Yes. So in that case, the toner, which either has salicylic acid or tea tree oil, or even a toner with glycolic lactic acid, because these are also mild hemostatic. And that is to be only on your T-zone. That is on the forehead, in between your brows, nose, around the mouth, chin area. Skip the rest of the face. Okay. So this is how you manage a combination skin type, by just using a toner with actives on the T-zone.
It's very interesting. Thank you. Now we see, what I was going to say, I've forgotten the question because I went into like thinking about every time I've had combination skin, and I would love this information then. But yeah, we do have summers coming up, and that's when my skin changes to combination here as well. So my next question is, skincare changes. Does skincare change according to the seasons? Like, yes. I'm sure, yeah. So you need to change your skincare out as well, I'm assuming. You cannot use the same thing you've been using. Okay. And does skin change as well? Does the skin change, or it depends from person to person?
The extent of how much a skin changes from season to season, again, is genetic. It depends from person. It depends on lifestyle. So it, you know, people who are into a healthy lifestyle where they're working out and eating less of junk food, which is very endocrine disrupting. By that, I mean too much of oils and very hormonal food, which you cannot digest properly. These are more likely to trigger your oil glands. So if there is, if a person is into a healthy, balanced lifestyle where your food habits and your lifestyle habits are well balanced, the skin changes are to be, they're not going to be so drastic with time, or even season change, or even with age. So yes, lifestyle is an important role in the quality of the skin.
Yeah, you actually brought me to my next question. I know our skin concerns would change with age, obviously. Does our skin type also change with age?
Yes. So basically, the oil glands in our face become active only at puberty. So before that, when a child reaches puberty, that's when they start getting breakouts. So the oil glands become active because of the hormones during puberty. That's the main reason why we get breakouts perimenstrually, around the menstrual period. And also skin type changes as we head towards menopause. So yes, skin type completely depends on the hormones. Even not just in women, in men as well. So even boys start breaking out at puberty. Their acne break come under control a little later. Like girls usually get acne from say 13 to 17. Boys usually little later, maybe 15 to 21 or 22. Okay. So skin type changes with age because it is related to hormones.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So now I'm coming from my problem. So when I get asked a lot of times to suggest, products for people, people don't want to spend too much money, obviously. And I'm left searching for a lot of products, specifically in India. When I get asked to suggest products in India, I really actually can't find a lot of products that are good for the skin with good ingredients. So maybe you can help me here as well. And I'm sure there's a lot of other viewers over there. Help us kind of look at products ingredient, look at the ingredient list. Now that you've told us the good ingredients in certain products like salicylic acid, glycolic acid, maybe you can also help us or guide us how to choose a product just by looking at the ingredients, and help us choose the bad ingredients that are in products. I know perfume is one of them, and certain people are allergic to perfumes, people with sensitive skin, sometimes even dry skin. But maybe you can help us pick some other ones as well, so that by just looking at the ingredient list, we know this product isn't very good. Another product that's spoken about a lot of times is the St. Ives hazelnut or walnut scrub that people absolutely shouldn't put on their face. But maybe you know of some other ones as well.
So with regards to products, when you check the ingredient list, it is most products would now that we are getting are sulfate free and paraben free. Most of the, but again, when you check the ingredient list, try and avoid products that have SLS, which is sodium lauryl sulfate. The surfactant changes the pH of your skin. Over a period of time, it makes the skin more sensitive to products like whatever you're using. It damages the quality of the skin because we don't need so much of a surfactant in our soaps and in our cleansers.
On this question, I have another question. Isn't SLS actually good for people with oily skin? And I'm talking even for the scalp, like people with oily scalp as well. I thought SLS was something that actually takes the oil away.
It does, but you don't need it on an everyday basis. So if it is if your face wash contains actives like your salicylic acid, then you don't need such strong surfactants.
Okay. Interesting. That's okay. Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I had to ask you that question over here because we hear this a lot of times, like SLS isn't good, but yeah. What about alcohols in skincare?
Some amount of alcohol does a toning, has a toning effect. So yes, but the ingredient list should not have too many alcohols.
Okay. It shouldn't be at the start of the list or...
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, you got cut off there for a bit. Okay.
So the not have too many alcohols. Even these polyethylene PEGs, they call them. You know, they are with the numbers. So these also too many. If they are listed too many times in that ingredient list, they are not healthy for the skin.
Okay. Wow. Can you, so I do a lot of reading, and I've read in a certain article actually very recently, you can tell a product based, and I don't know whether this is true or false, but since you're the specialist, I'm just asking you, maybe you can help me with this. It said in the article that you can look at an ingredient list, and just by looking at the first 5 ingredients, you can tell whether the product is good or bad. Is that true?
To a certain extent, yes. Because if the products are all these, if all these ingredients are listed first, so where are the actives? So if you have the surfactant first, then you have the PEGs, and then you have the methyl, ethyl, parabens first. Then all the preservatives first. So then where are the actives in that product? So a good company that is trying to do justice to skincare would always list the actives first. And the ingredient list would be shorter. So the longer the ingredient list, the more more irritating it can be to your.
Wow. You know what, Rosanne? Most of the time, I'm overthinking skincare, but it all makes sense now. All right. My next question. And I know this for a fact, a lot of people do. Can we overdo skincare?
Yes, most people overdo skincare.
Exactly.
So sometimes I have patients coming to me using 10 different products and layering them the wrong way.
And
so,
probably not according to their skin type as well.
Yeah. It's very, very important to keep it simple, where you will stick to a routine. So in my practice, I prefer giving my patients a cleanser, toner, depending on the skin type, or a mist, depending on the skin type, and a vitamins, a serum, either with vitamin C or depending on the skin type, followed by a sunscreen. At night, again, it's again cleansing, toning, or putting a mist, active at night. So usually actives at night are your vitamin A based products like retinol, and a moisturizer depending on the need.
That's good. You know, people keep asking me products, like just give me 2 products. I'm a very lazy person. I just need 2 products to put on my face, but I also want to treat my skin. And I keep telling them, if you want to treat your skin, you need to be using at least probably 5 products. If I have to give them 2, I would be like probably a cleanser and a sunscreen, but that's just not possible. And we covered this in our first segment as well, where if you want to treat your skin, you want to, use anti-aging products and you want your skin to look flawless. It's just not possible with 2 products. But then people seem to probably not understand this enough. They want 2 products. Can you explain that having even 5 products in a skincare routine is actually good for your skin?
It is. So again, probably 2 of these 5 products might be prescribed medicines depending on what the skin concern is. But I would say the 4 products that I swear by is a good cleanser depending on your skin type.
Yes.
A toner or a mist depending on your skin type.
Yes.
A sunscreen, a serum.
Yeah.
And again, depending on your skin type, either a retinol cream at night, or a moisturizer, depending on skin type and age.
Obviously, yes.
So yes, it ultimately becomes 5 products, like you said. So a toner, a serum, a sunscreen, and a night care product. So yes, 5 products are needed. So we can swap 2 of these products for medicated creams if there is a absolute need for them. So like a person with acne may require something like an adapalene or a benzoyl peroxide. So which serum for these? A person with post-acne blemish marks, the dark marks which remain. So we might use a lightening agent in case of this. So I would say a basic skincare would require 5 products.
And anytime somebody comes to me now and says, I want to take care of my skin, I'm a lazy person, I straight away tell them, then let's not go further. Okay. Now I have...
for the laziest person, it's 3 steps. Face wash, serum, sunscreen in the morning, face wash, night cream at face wash, toner, and night cream at night.
Thank you. I'm going to use that with them next time. All right. Now comes, I have so many questions for sunscreen, but the 3 burning questions I have at the same time, I get asked most of these time and again. And I probably might have sunscreen questions, Rosanne, for you every session, but I'll keep them to 2 or 3. All right. Let's see. What do I ask? Okay, before I go into sunscreen, I'd like to ask you, since most of the question these days is about mask acne, and it seems to be like such a big thing these days because we do wear our mask probably for most hours of the day. We're wearing it at work, we're wearing it when we're going out. So yeah, that seems to be the big problem these days. I have 3 questions for that as well. What causes mask acne? How do we treat it? And how to keep it at bay? Like once we've treated it, how do we not let pimples come back on our face again?
So mask acne is almost become a pandemic. It's there everywhere. Everybody experiences it. Yep. It's basically because occlusion, the mask occludes this part of your face. So there's a lot of heat buildup. The bacteria from your mouth when you're talking behind a mask are sprayed onto your face. Mm-hmm. Heat and the pressure from the mask are all the reasons why acne are triggered in that area.
We lost you for a bit there, Rosanne. Can you just repeat what you just said?
So mask acne is caused because of occlusion from the mask. By that, I mean the mask covers that part of your face relatively tightly, if not tightly. Okay. So that the breeding ground for the bacteria that are sprayed onto your skin from your mouth and your nose when you're talking behind a mask.
Yes.
Heat and the humidity that builds up. Also, yes. When the mask is not washed, the makeup buildup that is there behind the mask.
Yes.
And all the bacteria that have collected behind the mask. These are the various reasons that has caused the mask acne pandemic. So the best way to keep it under control, if not get rid of it completely, is to wash your cloth mask. So if you're living in a hot, humid place like India, use a cloth mask and make sure you use a fresh cloth. Wash it so that the residue from the mouth, from the makeup don't remain behind the mask and trigger the acne. Mm-hmm. Try and when you're not with people, when you're alone, if you're going for a walk by yourself, you can avoid using the mask. You can carry it with you. Mm-hmm. But yes, when you're in office space and you're around other people, a mask is mandatory. Okay. One of the ways to control this is to wash your face after 3 to 4 hours of constant mask usage. Take off your mask, just wash your face. If there are acne, benzoyl peroxide helps with this kind of breakouts because benzoyl peroxide works in 2 ways. It's antibacterial as well as anti-inflammatory. Mm-hmm. So okay. Benzoyl peroxide is a good medication to use for mask acne. And yes, lots and lots of water. So keeping hydrated will help with mask acne.
That's good. Can we also use salicylic acid?
Yes, we can. The spot, yes, and the spot corrector of salicylic acid helps to dry mask acne.
Okay, that's really good. I know. So I had dry skin like all of last year because we were at home and the AC and everything. And when we started work, I was getting breakouts all over my face. So I just bought like a cleanser from La Roche-Posay with 2% salicylic acid just to wash my face. And that did the job. So every evening, once I'm home, I remove my makeup and wash my face with salicylic acid. And that's really, really helping. Yeah.
Salicylic and benzoyl peroxide are two actives that really help with mask acne. But to keep it at bay, certain changes in the way you use the mask also help you go a long way.
Okay. Thank you. All right, now coming back to my sunscreen questions. So a lot of times, actually not a lot of times, I like to generally just use physical sunscreen. And people ask me, why don't I use chemical? I don't know whether it has a bad rep, or maybe I've read too many articles on it saying that it has certain ingredients that are probably not good and cause cancer. But maybe you can help me better over here.
Yes.
Are chemical sunscreens bad?
Not all chemicals.
Okay.
Not chemical sunscreens are bad. Yes, the older generation ones are, there are lots of articles in the older generation sunscreens, which say they are endocrine disruptors.
Exactly.
They damage the coral reef. So yes, certain products are bad. So the ones that are notorious are PABA, if you've heard of it, PABA, para-amine benzoic.
Yes, PABA, yes. Homoslate, yes.
And cinnamides. Avobenzone has a very good safety profile, unlike benzone, which is not safe.
Okay.
So if your skin has avobenzone, it has a better safety profile. In fact, better safety profile as in it is safe.
Okay.
But yes, titanium dioxide and zinc oxide, which are your mineral or physical sunscreens, best safety profile. So a good company usually has a combination of avobenzone with zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. And these are relatively safe sunscreens to, not relatively, these are safe sunscreens to use.
I'm sorry, I cut you off when you were giving me the ingredients that we need to look for. I know one of it is PABA that you said. The second one is homoslate. What's the third?
Cinnamide.
Cinnamide. Okay. Okay. And so these are mostly in the older sunscreens.
Yes. So the usually the brands that nobody uses currently. So I don't think once you, any good brand that use. I don't want to name brands.
Yeah, I prefer not. Yeah.
Yeah. So any good brand, just flip the tube.
Just look at the ingredients
and look at the ingredients.
Okay. That's really good to know. Okay, my next question is moisturizers with sunscreen good? And if they are, do we need to put one before we put our sunscreen?
Like we discussed last time, sunscreen that has avobenzone in it needs to be applied after brushing your teeth because it takes 20 minutes to become active.
Yes. Okay. So we can even look for moisturizers with sunscreen, and that would be just fine if we add to our skin. Can you hear me?
No, you got cut off.
Oh, I'm so sorry. And so it's okay to go ahead and use moisturizers with sunscreen. Just make sure you use it 20 minutes before you head out.
Yes. And again, the screen depends on the SPF. So like we discussed last, the lighter skin types require a higher SPF. The browner skin types require a lower SPF. So for skin types like you and me, anything from an SPF 15 to 30 is good enough. The lighter skin tend to require a stronger SPF.
Okay. What if our foundations have SPF 15 or SPF 20?
That's fine.
That's fine as well.
Again, type, it's fine.
That's good to know.
So
okay.
The type, use a sunscreen with a higher SPF and then use a foundation that has SPF in it.
That's really good. Okay. My last question for today. And this is again my most asked question. Are DIY treatments okay to use on the skin? And if they are, what can we use on the skin? And if they aren't, what shouldn't we be using on our skin?
It's absolutely fine to use do-it-yourself treatments on the skin, but there are certain do's and don'ts in this case. Scrubs, don't be very overzealous with them. There's no need to use these walnut and apricot scrubs on a regular basis.
What about sugar?
Once a week. So again, sugar, big particle size, it is more abrasive to your skin. scrubs with smaller size particles, which you basically don't see them on your palm.
Mm-hmm.
So if you scrub, the particle size should be such that you really need to strain to see them on your palm. If the particles are easily visible, that tends to be more abrasive. So we don't need that much on the skin. So whenever you go to a dermatologist clinic, we do a treatment called microdermabrasion. So the abrasion needs to be micro, not macro. So sugar is macroscopic, more abrasive, more likely to cause damage. Certain scrubs where you see the walnut and apricot pieces when you take it on your palm, more abrasive, more likely to damage the skin in the long run. Yeah. Particle size for scrubs should be microscopic to give you the results, at the same time not damage your skin. People with active acne, scrubs are a big no-no. Yeah, are a big no-no. With regards to the certain Indian things that we do, like the multani mitti, is fine. Someone with pigmentation, chandan is a big no-no. Chandan is your sandalwood. Yes. It's a big photosensitizer. So if you have pigmentation and you put chandan on your face and you go out in the sunlight, it is going to increase your pigmentation. So someone with no pigmentation and they want to use chandan to soften their skin, that's fine. Things like your cucumber slices, potato slices, they're fine. But don't overdo skincare. This is okay once a week. There's no once, maximum 2 times a week. Do not overdo skincare, because even with cucumber, has a little bit of curcumin, which is again a lightening agent, can cause irritation in the long run. Sheet masks at home, again, check the ingredients. If they're meant for your skin type, then you can go ahead and use it. Aloe vera juice, make sure you wash the plant properly and then collect the sap. Don't take the broken part of the aloe vera and rub it on. Collect the sap and then apply it onto your face. So yes, do it yourself. Skincare is safe, but there are certain do's and don'ts with it. Follow that so that the skin gets better and not worse because of this. I have to mention this. I have some patients who put lemon juice on their face. It is not recommended because it is not stable. So it can cause chemical peel-like burns. So not recommended. Buttermilk, curd is fine. This is very low concentration of lactic acid, not going to cause harm. Garlic for pimples, not recommended. Garlic to burn off moles, not recommended. You end up with severe scarring and blemishes, which then take you to a dermatologist's office for reasons not required. So please don't do such things. Ginger, garlic, leave it for the meats, not for your...
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I've heard so many stories of people doing so many things to their skin, which is just, it's not, certain foods like honey, or like you said, aloe vera and all, is okay to put on the skin. But like, I've heard people scrubbing their face with sugar and then say that this is red. Yeah. I've heard people also putting egg for their skin and they didn't realize they were allergic, and then they broke out into an allergy on their face. So yeah, you need to keep in mind what you're using on your face. And you need to probably test, even if you're using honey or aloe vera or milk, you probably want to test it out on your arm first before you actually put something on your face. Yeah, but that's it for today's questions. Thank you so much, Dr. Rosanne. These questions, I'm sure, help a lot of people, help me. I mean, there's so many things that I wanted to ask specifically when it comes to sunscreens and, you know, certain actives and skincare, because people ask me to recommend products and I keep telling them, you know, you need to tell me what your skin type is, your skin concerns, and probably then I can help you choose something. And most of the time, and the whole thing we started this on is because we see people not knowing what their skin type or skin problems are and just using anything and everything that they see that's coming new into Sephora and then breaking out. But yeah, thank you so much. This has been helpful. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in our next video. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to see more, I suggest you subscribe. Till then, bye.